Most people think that flying on a plane is the best way to travel in style. But not every plane is a ride of luxury, with so many manufacturers trying to stand out with their unique designs and styles, and some were less attractive. Without further ado, here are 10 planes that should not have been created. Before we continue, please take a moment, go down and smash the like button, and go to subscribe button and connect with us. Number 1. Aerospace Line Super Guppy. The Aerospace Line Super Guppy has just got to be the Frankenstein of aircraft. It is a mix of both old parts and new customized features to create one super awkward-looking plane. The original idea for the Guppy came in 1960 from a pair of aircraft salesmen named Lee Lansford and Jack Conroy. They wanted to create a plane that could withstand the weight of unusually large cargo, such as rocket parts for NASA, although NASA was not interested in Hansford and Conroy's proposal. The two ended up convincing the aerospace program. Once they showed off their invention at the Marshall Space Flight Center in Huntsville, Alabama. Thus in 1965, the Super Guppy was born. This plane had parts from every aircraft you could imagine. The wings were from a Stark cruiser. The nose wheel assembly was snatched from a Boeing 707 jet. And the propellers were part of a Lockheed C-130 Hercules cargo plane. The Super Guppy moved both heavy cargo and commercial loads from place to place. For the International Space Station program, it may not be the prettiest, but it got the job done. Number 2. Stipa K Pronate. Stipa K Pronate, Lee Lansford, and Jack Conroy were not the only ones who managed to get lucky with some experimental building in 1932. Italian Luigi Stipa engineered a prototype for a plane unlike any other, the Stipa K Pronate. The engine and propeller of the plane were located inside the hollow main body, making it truly a sight for sore eyes. Stipa believed that by directing the prop wash through a venturi tube, he could maximize the efficiency of the engine. He sent a prototype of a plane with this concept, which he referred to as an in-tube propeller, to the Air Ministry. Despite how strange the vehicle looked, they contracted K Pronate Aviation Corporation to create the plane with elliptical-shaped wings and a body created mostly from wood. The Stipa K Pronate managed to actually inspire future innovations despite the displeasing appearance. It led to the development of jet propulsion and was even replicated by Lynette Zucchini and Aerotech, Queensland, in Australia in 1998. Some consider the Stipa K Pronate to be the ugliest plane ever created. Others admire Luigi Stipa for being bold enough to create such an insane invention. Whichever side you are on, we can all agree that no one wants to see another one of these hideous planes in the sky again. Number 3. Bennett Air Truck. It seems like Australia is notorious for crafting some of the most unsightly planes ever. Not only did they replicate the Stipa K Pronate, but an Australian aircraft designer named Luigi Pellegrini was responsible for another atrocious plane, the Bennett Air Truck. Pellegrini created the plane in collaboration with the owner of Northern Air Services, Jack Worthington, and engineer Snow Bennett. It was meant to replace the de Havilland Tiger Moth in the aerial top dressing market to help spread fertilizers over farmland using pieces from New Zealand's North American Harvard aircraft. The prototype was made entirely of aluminum. There were twin booms supporting the unconnected tail units, but no rear fuselage or conventional tailplane. All in all, the Bennett Air Truck was not your typical airplane. Fortunately for bystanders, no one was forced to look at the monstrosity for too long. After taking flight in August of 1960, the plane crashed. Just 3 years later, during trials, a second version of the Bennett Air Truck was then released. A few years later, by 1967, the plane met the same fate as the original aircraft. Number 4. Short SC7 Sky van. No airplane could possibly compete with another airplane nicknamed the Flying Shoebox, built by an aerospace company known as the Short Brothers. The Flying Shoebox is more commonly known as the Short SC7 Sky van. The Short brothers wanted to design a simple plane that could easily load and unload the freight. What they ended up with was one of the ugliest aircraft out there. The plane was built entirely of metal, and the main body was shaped like a railroad. Boxcar construction of the Skyvan began in 1960, and the plane took to the sky in January of 1963. After going through a selection of different versions with various engines, they finally switched from Turbomission Astazo to Garrett Air Research Type 331 turboprops. A total of 149 flying shoeboxes were made. The planes were used in Argentina's Dirty War and the 1982 Falkland Wars. The aircraft are even occasionally seen today and are used for skydiving. It looks like people would rather be jumping right out of this hideous plane than staying inside it for too long. Number 5. Bloom & Voss BV-141. This next aircraft is so ugly that it was never even ordered into full-scale production. It was used during the Second World War as a German reconnaissance plane. The Bloom & Voss BV-141 is known for its asymmetrical build. The design of this vehicle was originally supposed to be symmetrical, but the starboard tailplane was later removed in hopes of providing a better field of view for the rear gunner in charge. 3 prototypes of the BV-141 were released, but the German Air Ministry, also known as the RLM, was not interested. They decided to pursue the Focus FW-189 instead as their aircraft of choice. Not a single scrap of these planes can be found today, for which we are pretty thankful. Friends, if you enjoyed the video so far, do not forget to subscribe to our channel, and if we have missed something important, please let us know in the comments below. Keep watching. Number 6. Pzl M15 Falcon. Aesthetics never seems to be a factor when building military aircraft, and Pzl M15 proves this. It is also known as the Falcon. Out of the 500 planes crafted, only 40 of them survived. There's one undeniably strange feature of this vehicle that no one could miss: its giant black clown nose. This is where the Falcon's radar system is stored, known as the Active Electronically Scanned Array. This allows military personnel to conduct surveillance. The plane can track up to 100 targets simultaneously, with a range of 230 miles. And it is all because of that hideous nose. The nose is obviously very efficient, but many are hoping that engineers figure out a way to make the same system look a little less obnoxious. Number 7. Pzl M15 Bell Figure. The Bennett Air Truck is not the only unsettling agricultural plane on this list. The Pzl M15 Bell Figure was crafted by the Polish aerospace manufacturer WSK Pzl to assist in Soviet agricultural aviation. You may recognize the name Bell Figure as an infamous demon who is known for being noisy. That is pretty fitting for this plane, since its jet engine made a deafening sound. The designers released their model of the Pzl M15 in 1976 at the Paris Air Show. It quickly earned its name as the Bell Figure due to its unusual look. Production began in 1976, only to end 4 years later. With a total of 175 aircraft built, the Bell Figure earned its place in history as the world's first and only jet biplane, the slowest jet, and the ugliest jet ever. Number 8. Boeing X32. Our next plane caught widespread attention fairly recently in 2000. The Boeing X32 was created for one reason, and one reason only: the Joint Strike Fighter competition. Countries all over the world, from the United States to Turkey, participate to replace their current fighter planes with stronger ones. The Boeing X32 featured a wing design that no one had ever seen before. On top of that, the plane had a sharp nose to include a radar system, as well as a bubble-shaped cockpit. All in all, it was not your average fighter plane. Unfortunately for the Boeing X32, it could not beat its rival, the Lockheed Martin X-35 demonstrator, during the competition. In 2005, the Boeing X-32 was transferred to its new home at the National Museum of the United States Air Force, where it remains today. Number 9. Aviation Trader's Carver. The Aviation Trader's Carver seemed like a big success. First, it was not the prettiest plane in the world. With a bulbous hump to accommodate a flight deck and an enlarged tail, It got the job done, though, and could store 5 cars, as well as 22 passengers. One of the planes crashed in Karachi, Pakistan in 1967, taking the lives of 4 crew members and 7 people. Only 3 of the original 21 planes are alive today, and most of them rarely take to the sky. Number 10. Hanley Page Victor. This last plane might be the oddest looking. The Hanley Page Victor was a British jet aircraft that served as a bomber during the Cold War. It was the last V-bomber used by the Royal Air Force. The futuristic design of the Victor included 4 turbojet engines and a highly swept T-shaped tail, with a bulging chin to accommodate for targeting radar. The plane took its last trip into the sky in 1993 and is now located at the Cosford Air Museum. The aircraft may have played a huge part in history, but everyone is probably relieved that they do not have to look at the Victor anymore. So, let us know, what do you think? Which one of these planes is the ugliest? Take a flight to the comment section and let us know if we missed one. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, and we will let you know when we have a new video for you. Thanks for watching.